What if I told you that today, April 28, 2026, two events just shook the global economy at the same time? One in the oil market, one in the currency market. And together, they might signal something much bigger. The United Arab Emirates has officially announced it is leaving OPEC, one of the most powerful oil alliances in modern history. And at the same time, the British pound is under growing pressure as inflation rises again, hitting 3.3%, while interest rates remain stuck at 3.75%. So, what's really going on? Is this just another new cycle, or are we watching the beginning of a global economic shift? Let's break it down. Hello everyone, Gregory here. And welcome to Gregory's Economics, your economic channel. I am Gregory and this is another episode of weekly series covering global economic news. Unfortunately, a lot is happening around the world right now, so we can't skip any of today's topics. To our loyal viewers, I kindly ask for your support with a thumbs up, as it really helps us a lot. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This is not a small story, this is a historic move. According to global media reports today, the UAE will officially leave OPEC on May 1st, ending nearly 60 years of membership. And this is huge, because OPEC controls around a third of global oil supply and has been shaping oil prices for decades. So, why would a key member walk away? Main reasons, as reported globally, are production limits and frustration. For years, OPEC has imposed strict quotas, but the UAE has been increasingly unhappy, sitting on unused capacity. Some analysts say it had up to 600,000 barrels per day of idle potential. That's money left on the table. Desire for independence. The UAE wants flexibility, freedom to produce more oil when prices are high, and right now, oil prices are surging past $100 per barrel due to geopolitical tensions. Perfect timing to leave tensions with Saudi Arabia. Let's be honest, OPEC is heavily influenced by Saudi Arabia, and reports suggest growing political and economic divergence between the UAE and Saudi leadership. This is not just economic, this is power. Long-term strategic shift. The UAE is thinking ahead. It wants to increase production capacity to 5 million barrels a day by 2027, maximize profits before global energy transactions accelerate, invest across oil, gas and renewables. This is a strategic exit, not reaction. What media are saying? Global media are calling this a pivotal moment for OPEC, a blow to the cartel, a move that could weaken OPEC's control over oil markets, and analysts warn this could lead to more volatility, not less. OPEC may lose cohesion, oil prices could become less predictable. What could happen next? Well, there are two scenarios. Scenario 1, more oil, lower prices long term. Without OPEC limits, the UAE can pump more. That could increase global supply, push prices down eventually. Scenario 2, chaos and volatility short term. But right now, there's war affecting oil routes, especially around the Strait of Hormuz, which handles about 20% of global oil trade. So instead of stability, we may see price spikes, supply disruptions, global inflation pressure. And that brings us to the second story, the British pound under pressure. Now let's talk about the UK. Inflation just hit 3.3% and it's rising again. At the same time, the Bank of England is keeping interest rates at 3.75. Why this is a problem? Normally, higher inflation equals higher interest rates, but here the central bank is hesitating because the UK economy is weak. Slow growth, rising unemployment, weak consumer spending. This creates a dangerous situation. Stagflation risk, prices rising, economy slowing. Worst combination possible. What's driving inflation? Main factor, energy. Fuel prices surge, the biggest jump in years. And why? Middle East conflict, oil supply disruption. Now, UAE leaving OPEC. Everything is connected. What experts are saying. Economists are divided. Some say the Bank of England is too slow. Others say rising rates could crash the economy. Inflation expectations are now rising to 5% short-term, 4% long-term. That's warning sign because expectations drive reality. Is the pound collapsing? Let's be clear, the British pound is not collapsing yet, but is under pressure, and here's why. Weak growth versus rising inflation, central bank hesitation, external shock, oil, war, global markets. But we have to remember that actually the British pound has been collapsing for last 100 years. Once the British pound was worth 100 times more than today. Today the British pound is just a shadow of itself, and it is losing year by year to Swiss franc, to gold and to silver. Well, right now the US dollar is strengthening, safe haven, oil prices are rising, global uncertainty is increasing. That's typically bad for currencies like the pound. Is the world abandoning the pound? Now here's where things get interesting. The pound used to be the world's dominant reserve currency before 1945. Today it's still important but far less dominant. Over decades, central banks diversified reserve. The US dollar took over. Other currencies like the euro gained ground. Reality check: the world is not suddenly abandoning the pound today. Actually, pound finished after 1945 and 50 years ago, and today it is just more a local currency. This has been happening slowly for decades. We are seeing now acceleration of pressure, not the end of the currency, but the end of any dominance and importance. When could it lose more status? Some experts say not anytime soon, but actually it can happen overnight. But what experts are saying? But if inflation stay high, growth stay weak, confidence drops, then over years, not months, the pound could weaken structurally. But for me, the British pound can end in 24 hours due to some kind of geopolitical and financial crises. So what did we just witness today? A major oil producer breaking away from OPEC, rising inflation in a major economy, growing instability in global markets. Individually, these are big stories. Together, they may signal something bigger, a shift towards a more fragmented, more volatile and less predictable global economy. So the real question is this just another crisis or the beginning of a new economic era? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want more deep breakdowns like this, subscribe and notify, because things are about to get very interesting. If you found this episode valuable, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content that is posted here regularly. I also recommend checking out other interesting videos you will see on your screen, placed next to this one along with the subscribe button. Greetings to everyone on this beautiful sunny day, and see you next time. And here's something to cheer you up. You'll catch reaction to rising rent prices in Dublin.